Close your eyes. Imagine that you are in a field of grass. When you look to your left, all you can see is tall, long grass. When you look to the right, all you can see is even more long grass, falling and rising, falling and rising in the low hills. In the bright blue sky, a hawk circles in the air. You take a deep breath. You can smell the mixture of sweet air, manure, and fresh bread baking. You begin to walk through the grass. Ahead, you can see a house, but it does not look like one of the houses that you see in your neighborhood. It is small and made of all wood. Two children sit on the front porch, rolling a blue marble in between each other. Your feet scrape along the front porch, but they do not notice you. You turn from the house and look out onto the plains. Far, far into the distance, you can see the low dust rising. The children become excited, talking to each other faster and faster. In the distance, the dust has risen higher, but you can see that it is a brown and white covered wagon with horses leading. There are only two people in the wagon, a man with curly hair and a woman with a yellow bonnet. As you peer closer at the woman, you can see that she is plain and tall. Open your eyes. We just went back to the 1800s, near the plains of the United States. In the 1800s, life was very different, especially on the plains. There were not as many houses then, and people were very isolated. With so much land and not as many people, those who lived on the plains farmed to survive. The food from the farm provided their food and could be sold to the nearest town. All the food that they ate had to be prepared by hand. Bread was made from flour, kneaded, and then baked to be eaten. All meat came from the animals that lived on the farm. This was normal life back then. And Sarah, plain and tall, two children who live in the plains with their father, get the chance to meet a woman who might become their new mother. Just like you imagined, the children live in a small wooden house, surrounded by fields of grass and their father's farm. Caleb, the youngest child, and Anna, the oldest, have lived with their father on their farm their entire lives. Their mother passed away when Caleb was born. Ever since then, Caleb and Anna have longed to have a mother in their life. During the 1800s, especially in the plains, there were not as many people living close together. In order to find a wife, Jacob, Caleb and Anna's father, places an ad in the newspaper. Then, all the way from Maine, a woman, Sarah, answers that she is interested. As strange as this may seem now, this was quite common then in the 1800s. When Sarah arrives by train, the children become anxious. Does she really want to stay? The plains are very different from Maine and the sea. Will Caleb and Anna get a new mother? Or will Sarah leave them? To find out, read Sarah, Plain and Tall.